How's it going? My name is Hoiman and I'm here to talk about a huge part of my childhood, and that is Robot Wars. So Robot Wars was a British television programme in the UK that began airing on BBC Two in 1998 until 2004, and it spanned 7 seasons. The show is about people known as Roboteers with amateur to professional engineering skills that construct their own remotely controlled robots, mainly consisting of vehicles equipped with various weapons like flippers, spinning discs, saws, hammers, etc. And they battle one another in a large arena made from steel that's filled with hazards and is surrounded by bulletproof glass. The goal is to immobilize the opposing robot either by destruction, wring out the pit, or by destruction from the heavier house robots such as Sir Killalot, and these are main staples in every match and are always situated in the corners of the arena.
Of course, these Roboteers won't just face each other, they'll face the mechanical might of the house robots.
The sparks are gonna fly when Dead Metal enters the arena armed with hydraulically driven pincers and a petrol-driven 3,000 revs per minute saw. Sergeant Bash is back with new weaponry, hydraulic pincers at the front and that ferocious flamethrower mounted on a 360-degree turret. This war machine's certain to leave all opponents hot under the collar. Shunt, a power-packed robot capable of dragging a fully loaded Land Rover with its hydraulic lift and the ability to cleave all opponents in two with a pneumatically driven diamond edge axe which strikes with over 500 kilograms of pressure per square centimetre. Entering our theatre of war, the matriarch of mayhem, Matilda, with tusks of steel and a chainsaw tail capable of piercing the toughest armour plating and destroying all opponents.
Of course, no wars would be complete without the ultimate killing machine, back with better weapons, the big daddy of them all, the mighty Sir Killalot. Imagine finding him in your laundry basket.
With each win, the robot advances to the next opponent in a single tournament that's within one episode. The winning robot then does battle against other winning robots from other episodes across a large tournament until they become the champion. Not only that, but robots are also pitted against various trials in the arena, such as hitting buttons, knocking barrels and boards, pushing a car door, riding over a ramp, etc. This is all to score more points than the other robots to advance in the tournament. Jeremy Clarkson presented the first season before Craig Charles took over for seasons 2 to 7, with Philippa Forrester co-hosting and Jonathan Pierce performing the narration. The idea of Robot Wars began with Mark Thorpe in 1992, and in 1994 Mark held the first Robot Wars event in Fort Mason Center in San Francisco. 3 more Robot Wars events were then held in America between 1995 to 1997, and in 1995, Profile Records partnered up with Mentorn to produce and televise a Robot Wars event in the UK. I was 8 in 1998, so after finishing primary school, I always caught the show on BBC Two after watching cartoons on Cartoon Network, The Simpsons, The Weakest Link, and then Robot Wars at 7 PM. Although I've always been scared of robots and machines, I was instantly hooked on Robot Wars. Seeing the cool robots and designs that people come up with to do exhilarating battles in an arena was just absolutely awesome to me. The atmosphere, the carnage, the destruction, the narration, everything. so I always made sure to catch the show every Friday throughout its lifespan. I remember always cheering on my personal favourites such as Hypnodisc, Razor, Chaos 2, Firestorm, and the list goes on, always hoping that they'd win the tournament. Like I said, after coming home from school, the combined 2 hours of watching the television programs and ending with Robot Wars always felt so magical to me. I enjoyed the thrills, robots, rivalries, little stories, action, and destruction to a high level. Craig Charles's excitement and quotes, and Jonathan Pierce's timeless narration just made the whole atmosphere so memorable and awesome.
That's what we like on Extreme, and proof that in the war zone, coming second is not an option. Now another robot who doesn't take any prisoners is Behemoth. They're back, and this time they say they're unbeatable. Well, Juliet, I'd say prove it.
Good steering. Tornado again, the aggressor. It's a thumping bash Stinger gave. Dead Metal up there, and Dead Metal's obviously hot under the collar and comes out of the Tornado this time, wanting vengeance of its own Dead Metal.
I'll never forget the opening countdown to every battle. 3, 2, 1, activate.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Not only me, but many other kids at school also loved the show. So I remember always getting into fun debates with friends about who the best robot is and which robot is our favourite. Mine was always Hypnodisc. Its elegant design and destruction it caused to other robots was always a thrill to watch.
With that disc, they'll protect their more vulnerable sides, of course, Splinter. And maybe, who knows? Oh, no, they won't! There goes the scoop at the front. They didn't quite turn the right way, they turned right into the spinning disc.
The show became so popular that it spawned much merchandise throughout the years. I remember always begging my mum to buy me a pullback toy every time we went out shopping in large department stores. I used to spend all my time in toy sections looking at the different robots and deciding which to get. These toys all had a specific function to activate their weapons, and they all came with various arena segments, so you can mimic the show. My two best friends were also super into Robot Wars at the time, and we used to play with the pullback toys whenever they came around. We always used to play in a way to accurately mimic the show, voicing out the sound effects, the destruction, the excitement, and quoting Craig and Jonathan's signature lines. And we just had so much fun with it all. I didn't own the arena, but instead used a small snooker table which worked really well. We even went a step further and created our own robots from Kinects. These parts can actually be damaged from weapons, so it felt more true to the show. Such fun times. To this day, my whole experience with Robot Wars and playing it with my friends are some of my most happiest memories, and have become a huge part of my childhood. I even got the awesome pencil case and remember proudly taking it to school with me, which many kids admired. I still remember getting really impatient for one Christmas because my mum got me the Robot Wars video game on PlayStation 2. I remember spending hours playing that game, creating my own robot and feeling like I'm actually playing in the real show. All the sound effects, atmosphere and narration was all there as expected, and controlling my favourite Hypnodisc was also so much fun. I also got some of the mini diecast toys, however they are now lost to me, but I've always kept the pullback toys in safe storage, and they have now become quite the collector's item. I didn't manage to get them all then as a kid, but now as an adult I've frequently hunted the rest of them down on eBay to add to my collection. Now I have them all. Although they are toys to be played by kids, these toys mean a lot to me, so I like to proudly keep them displayed in the games room. Unfortunately, the show ended in 2004, so it felt like a large part of me died inside. I've just never come across another show that made me feel such excitement, exhilaration, and emotionally attached. Fortunately, the whole series is available to watch right here on YouTube, so I find myself sometimes revisiting the show to bring back lots of wonderful memories and nostalgia. But when I discovered that the show would be rebooted and coming back in 2016, I honestly couldn't believe it. After 12 years of silence, I thought it would never return. Because I suffer from mental health, I'm mostly always depressed and never really have any happiness to show. However, I was so happy when I heard Robot Wars was coming back. It's probably the single thing that's made me feel happy like a kid again. I felt as if all my mental health disappeared for a bit. That's how much Robot Wars means to me. And with 12 years of advancement in technology, the new robots that were introduced were just breathtaking and astonishing to see. So much more power and destructive. I was so happy that many veterans from the old show came back with their robots. Some of these are classics and high contenders too, such as Behemoth, Razor, Thermidor and Dietor. However, they were completely destroyed within seconds in the arena. It just shows how much more powerful the new robots are, such as Carbide, which is like a successor to Hypnodisc and its beastly spinning weapon, even getting to the point where they would knock off entire fixed steel panels of the arena, smashing up the hazards and even penetrating bulletproof glass. These always caused the matches to temporarily be suspended.
But they've all had reliability issues thus far. In Robot Wars, here we are in the grand final, and Carbide being shoved across the floor by Shockwave. Oh goodness me, look at this! Carbide is taken out! The side wall of the arena, I have never seen that before! They say that blade has 10 times the power of anything we've seen on Robot Wars and causing more danger to Shockwave. But can this carry on?
Look at that, Dad. Look. Yeah.
I've never seen that before. The damage caused by Carbide here is sensational. Off came the side armor.
That's the side panel off. Look, it's there through the wall.
Okay, that is a first. That is, we've never seen that before. And that, I mean, we couldn't have placed that better. This glass, by the way, is one layer of polycarbonate. That's bulletproof glass and it just went through. The arena itself is 4 times as thick.
At them and thought again, but now they come on the attack. Oh, wow, they've spun horribly out of control. What on earth happened there? It's flying off completely. Oh my goodness me, I've never seen it before. They don't even know what happened to their hugely powerful bar spinner.
Ha ha! That I have not seen before.
The arena's in shards.
What did he just say, Anna?
He said if that ball came this way, he'd need to change of trousers.
It was quite terrifying, wasn't it?
It was like a missile.
It was like a missile.
Craig, you want to come down here? Obviously, we could do nothing until the forensics teams have had a look around. But from what we gather from an initial examination of the crime scene, the victim shot through the window here, hit that window there, and then ended up here. I know. And that is what? How many kilograms of...
That's 39.75 kilograms.
That's smashing through one sheet of polycarbonate glass, being bounced back by the other one.
We're trying to contain 106 kilojoules of energy. It's just, there's nothing that powerful out here, so we've never built anything like that.
Yeah.
We will never build anything like that again.
I guess with how dangerous the new show was getting, especially with how close the audience is to the arena, BBC decided to cancel the show a second time in 2018 for safety reasons. Over 2 million fans, myself included, was sad to see Robot Wars cancelled again. but I understand that safety needs to take priority, so I guess it can't be helped. But watching the new series for the 1 hour it was on in the week, I honestly felt like all my mental health was gone. The atmosphere and nostalgia of the whole show just brought me all the way back to 1998, before my mental health. So overall, Robot Wars makes a huge part of my childhood and has made a huge impact on my life. Every time I think about the show or I see anything regarding it, it just always brings a deep smile to my face, followed by all the nostalgia and memories. Just last year, the main shopping mall in my area was hosting a mini Robot Wars event. They were made from plastic and didn't have any weapons, but it was so cool to see many kids queuing up to try the battles. But what really pulled my heartstrings was seeing Matilda, one of the house robots from the show, displayed at the event. It wasn't the actual robot, but it was a 1-to-1 scale recreation. I just had to take a picture. It just felt so awesome to be so close to one of the house robots. I didn't take part in the battles, but I did stay for a while to watch. Again, it just felt like my mental health was gone for that whole moment. As for the future of Robot Wars, who knows? I never thought it would come back after 12 years. But I'm aware there's always a lot of fan outcry and demand for the show to come back. So here's hoping that it will come back again sometime in the future, but hopefully not too long. That's it for this video. My name is Hoiman, and please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And remember, always look forward, keep hope alive, and remember, you're somebody.